Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today get your hay and buy your ticket to the heavy petting zoo as the goats have come out to play with Hera, playing as the Hindustanis in blue, preparing to take on the Viper, playing as the Japanese in yellow. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we are going to be watching today. Now, the Hindustanis, a civilization that pushes its players towards an army comp made of gunpowder and camel units. All Hindustani gunpowder units come with extra armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get extra range. Now, their camels also come with a few cool features. To start with, they have an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses one of my main issues with camels, which is that they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Second, they also attack 20% faster than normal, and the Hindustanis have access to the Imperial Camel Rider, a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast upgraded version of the already awesome heavy Camel Rider. Now, to defend their hand cannoneers from pesky ranged units that might want to snipe them on the battlefield, the Hindustanis can actually field a second unique unit, the Ghulam. This is an anti-archer unit that moves quickly, has high pierce armor, and comes with an attack bonus against archers. And by the way, its spear, the weapon of war that it attacks the archers with, or rather attacks any units with, can injure multiple units at once. Now, to support the quick production of their expensive but powerful units, Hindustani villagers do become progressively cheaper as the game goes on, all the way from 8% cheaper in the Dark Age up to 23% cheaper in Imperial, and the Hindustanis can make their economy incredibly efficient by increasing the speed of all of their gold income and reducing the market commodity trading fee from 30% to 10%, making it the second best in the game after, of course, the Saracens. Now, not watching the Saracens today, we are watching the Japanese, a civilization that likes to focus on its infantry. The Japanese have access to all infantry units with all blacksmith and barracks upgrades. Their infantry attack 33% faster starting in the Feudal Age, which is good news for their unique unit, the Samurai, a medium infantry unit with an incredibly lightning fast attack and an attack bonus against other unique units. Now, to support their infantry on the field of battle, their cav archers do come with a small attack bonus against archers, but not skirmishers. Their trebs can be upgraded to not only fire faster, but pack and unpack 4 times faster, and their towers can be upgraded to fire 2 extra arrows. Now, to help you save the resources you need in order to pay for your army, get out there, and especially in the earlier stages of the game, Japanese mills, lumber camps, and mining camps all come in at 50% off. Basically, buy one, get one free. Those are the two civilizations, pretty damn powerful mid to late game, more late game, I would say, civilizations, but never discount these two in the mid game. For now, looking at the exploration path on the minimap, not a surprise that Hera is a little bit ahead in score, having explored a significantly larger portion of the map than his opponent. His opponent, though, okay, for a second looked like the Viper was going to head straight to Hera's base. And speaking of, both players, 16 villagers a pop. Good time for us to zoom out a little bit and take a look at those bases. Primary gold kind of on the attack path here for our Hindustani, kind of in the forward-ish, not really forward, not really middle, kind of in between, but still rather open and exposed. Nowhere to hide for these gold miners. Primary stone nice and secure to the back. 3 small forests, berries to the rear is good as well. And extra gold to the left, extra gold to the right. And where is your secondary stone patch? It is down to the rear as well. So Hera's got his stone to the back, gold in a bit of an Orion's belt here to the front. Not the greatest of bases, especially since this northern portion is completely open. And the Viper, perhaps expecting his opponent to be here, is going to discover, okay, discovers 1 patch of gold. Now the question is, if you are, I don't know why I did that. If you are the Viper, if you are this scout, do you go left or do you go right? Or do you, like the caster you're listening to when you can't make a decision, Google coin flip and then let Google make the decision for you? Let's take a look at the Japanese base. Primary stone to the rear, primary gold. Also on the, not really on the attack path, much like Hera's. Not really forward, not really center, but still exposed nonetheless, albeit unlike Hera's gold, which is completely in the middle of nowhere. The Viper at least has a flanking forest here that he can use to continue this wall off if he so wishes. Extra stone, very exposed to the front. Extra gold to the rear, extra gold to the front as well. So not a terrible base for the Viper, who has walled off maybe 20-30% of it so far. Berries exposed in the front as well, whereas Hera's are nice and secure to the back. And he is going to finally discover where his opponent is. Will he go for the pig? No, he does not go for the pig. Hera is in Feudal. The Viper seconds away. Both players going up on 18 villagers. Viper does have 2 seconds of idle time. Hera did skip Loom, and so is getting that upgrade immediately after training 1 extra villager. And our Japanese is going man-at-arms. Nice. Like I said, he is in Feudal. And like I said earlier, the Japanese infantry units, they do attack 33% faster once they hit Feudal, forcing the garrison of the villagers. At least they drop off some food. You know, it's not the end of the world to garrison your villagers for a few milliseconds here. What might be the end of the world here is this roving band of men-at-arms. And look at their attack speed now, 1.5 instead of 2. And if you think that is a insignificant difference, the longer the battle goes on, the more significant it becomes. And oh, wait a second. Ooh, the Viper not paying attention 100% there. Missed an opportunity to maybe get the villager. When both of these palisades collapsed, his units were kind of just staring at that villager like George Clooney in The Men Who Stare at Goats, which is apropos because these are 2 of the greatest of all time. If you haven't seen the video, who is the greatest of all time? Is it Hera or is it Viper? I recommend you Google that. It's a fun video to watch, but like all important questions in life, the simpler the question, the more complicated the answer. If this question even has an answer, I leave it up to everyone and their personal decisions. Not too sure why he's running away here. Even this reinforcement contingent here, not too sure. There's 3 units here that have a minimum range that the men-at-arms can enter into, unless he is trying to plan a bit of a surprise with the skirmishers that he has back home. But no, he's not moving them forward at all. Now he decides to. Was he just looking for high ground? It's possible. Actually, no. He went by a bunch of hills and decided not to take them. So who will draw first blood here? The Viper's units are being led on a merry chase as one archer's guns tries to gun them down. But now the army is clumped. Doesn't really matter. Hera gets the first kill here. And now he is on the high ground. Gets a second kill. Will get a third as well. So the Viper could have engaged a lot earlier. Could have done maybe 1 or 2 units worth of damage before dying himself. But waited a bit too long. The Hindustani army a little bit too sizable. A little bit too much of it. And then he loses all his units. Now he's back with a scout. What will he see that he hasn't seen before? Nothing except this one house here on the left. 2 skirmishers meet on a bit of a mound. Viper does take the high ground. Hera runs away. Doubt he'll engage into this with his archers. I don't think he's going to risk those gold units to get attacked by 6 skirmishers. Now he tries to... Ooh, his scout is very low on HP. What has Hera not seen? The lumber camp to the north. And that's also basically it. So both players having fantastic vision of one another. And more importantly, one another's bases. And let's see whether or not the Viper can get anything accomplished here. Round 2 of the kind of weak, but still potentially dangerous armies here. From men-at-arms to basic skirmishers with just fletching. Scout half dead to the south. Hera scout, as always, when they get injured and grow out of their usefulness, puts them out to pasture onto scouting duty. I see that blue dot moving forward. We'll see if it goes into the base here to help out or whether it just continues looking for relics and resources and elevations and attack paths and all that good stuff that you get with scouting. All that good information. No, it is heading right back into the battle. So it has a death wish. Probably won't survive very long here. Army counts are 14 to 10 in favor of our Hindustani. Villager count is identical. So with those cheaper villagers, he has been able to invest a little bit of the saved food into building a bigger army. Aside from his archers, everything here does cost a bit of food. And what is happening down here? Okay. Bob the Bear decides to enter into the chat. And now Hera's sending his scout. He's going to see the double archery range. Okay. So he knows what he's up against now. Doesn't really need to scout very much more than this at the moment. Ooh, but he does have to be careful. Even the weak skirmisher might be able to get that scout with a massive 3 HP left on it. For now, Hera is has the numbers here. Viper has the high ground, but significantly outnumbered. Ooh, gold unit gotten there for our Japanese, but our Hindustani is heading up to the Castle Age. He's getting fletching of his own, so he's going to double down on ranged units at the moment. The Viper, just 150 food away. Probably does not want to sell any of his stone. Does he even have the ability to sell his stone if he wanted to? No, he does not. I don't see a market anywhere here in the Japanese base. He is instead laming a wood line. Kill count is 9 to 6. The Viper is just taking not great engagements at the moment. We'll see if he can change that with these archers. We'll see if they can take away enough HP here to kill a villager. The scouts, 5 HP, 0 HP. The Viper scout, at least he's somewhat of a veteran. He does have that one archer kill. Oh, and now Hera shows up with his army here. Carves it up in half, doesn't need 9 skirmishers for 1 archer, kills the 3, and all of a sudden kill count is not that great. 12 to 6, nobody's killed a villager yet. Hera looked like he was going to engage into the scout, saw that it has more HP than him, and then did a little bit of a woo 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 and turned to the right. I don't know exactly what that sound was, I apologize. I don't know what a woo 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 sound. I was trying to think, what does a U-turn look like? But he didn't exactly make a U-turn. More like a 3-point turn. And the last thing you want to hear is me making car engine sounds, or at least trying to. I'm not that, what's the name of that actor from Police Academy that was known for making those funny sounds that I thought were hilarious as a kid. And then I saw recently a Police Academy movie, and it was not funny at all. Oh, to mature. Although I say mature, the people who know me will beg to differ. Hera continues to just get more and more kills by virtue of just having more stuff, more units. He's keeping pace with a villager count. He's not using the discount, which right now is a 18% discount for him to go bonko on the villager count. Instead, he's using the saved food to continue pumping out these skirmishers, and they are elite. The Vipers are still 40 seconds away from being elite. Remember, these 2 units do come with attack bonuses against each other, so they shred through the ranks of their enemy quite quickly. I mean, Hera's just one-shotting skirmishers now. The Viper's missing every single volley, it looks like. 21 kills to 7. Okay, finally the Viper has elite skirmisher. Why did he engage into this army? Why did he lose 5, 6, 7 skirmishers here before he had the elite upgrade? You have a perfectly defensible town center here that you could have tried to, you know, shove your villagers under. But no, he decided to take the fight. I was thinking maybe he's doing something on the other side of the map, but not really. It's Hera who's doing something on the other side of the map. Going up to a 3rd town center. Viper is now adding a 2nd that Hera sees immediately. Of course he does. He's right here underneath the very nose of the villagers building that town center. But perhaps overstayed his welcome, realizing that, hey, I'm going to have to compete with garrison villagers and elite skirmishers. The Viper's upgrades are a little bit worse than his opponents. Both of them have Bodkin, but Hera does have padded archer armor, the first armor upgrade for his skirmishers. But numbers are they still here for Hera? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Clumped. Yeah, 12 to 11. But what's the HP like? Yeah. Hera's units, even though there's just 1 less skirmisher. Look at the HP difference. 140 HP difference. And now the Viper's on the high ground as well. Ooh, misses that volley. Hera is getting wheelbarrow as he can, because he has gone up rather to 3 town centers. Viper with the last dying breath. This scout does give him some vital information, university and a 3rd TC. I don't know if he saw the 2nd TC before that scout came. So either he saw a university in 1 town center, or he saw a university in 2 town centers, and so immediately adds a 3rd TC of his own. The problem for him, he's now down 6 villagers, which doesn't sound like much, but it's 53 to 47. It's not like 120 to 114. And the player with more villagers as the game freezes is the one who has a villager discount, the one who has wheelbarrow. And also, by the way, has Bosa to the double bit axe of the Viper. So the Viper is just falling behind economically. And so says, you know what? I'm just going to bring out my heavies. I'm going to put a siege workshop. Not exactly hwanging it with a 26-minute siege workshop deep into Castle Age, but an aggressive siege workshop nonetheless. Hera garrisons one villager, trying to scare the Viper perhaps. How many, you know, all we know when we attack a town center is that the flag is up. We don't know exactly how many villagers are inside there. And yet again, Hera is just taking the better engagements here. And unfortunately for everyone who is not a fan of skirmisher wars, we are in a full-fledged skirmisher war right now. And down goes the last of the Viper's expeditionary force, but a few fresh recruits, pimple-faced and clean-shaven, 7 to be exact, say lucky numbers are on our side. And so we will try to get something done here. A 4th town center for our Hindustani, who's now getting handcard as well. Okay, so he's Viking it up, is our Hindustani. A second, ooh, but you know what? Can change the dynamic of a game. 2 siege workshops. Cav archers. Remember, they come with attack bonuses against archer units. But then take a look at the second to last. It says skirmisher -2. It adds it back. They giveth and they taketh, the developers. And so I'm a little bit surprised to see cavalry archers out of our Japanese. Again, the Japanese, one of the fun things about the OG civs in Age of Empires, for example, I like to mention these like a broken record in our live streams, is the Britons and Archer civilization have a pristine infantry line, and the Japanese in infantry civilization have a pristine archer line, which is funny to me, at least. And so I guess cav archers are definitely one very powerful unit to go with. But I'm not too sure here, especially if you know your opponent's gone heavy on the skirmishers. Now this, on the other hand, is a nice FU to the skirmisher build. 14 skirmishers, 6 of them are here. Where are the other 8? Oh, they're being repositioned here to the south to defend against this. So the Viper tries to poke and successfully pulls the majority of Hera's army out of position, which means that his mangonels are now free to run amok. And amok they do run. Maybe this is why he brought the cav archers. They do get their first villager kill. Second and third villager kills as well. So, okay, the Viper, 4 villager kills out of nowhere all of a sudden. And he's got 2 repairing villagers. So the siege is here. The siege is real. 5 going up to 6 mangonels. And Hera says, you know what's gonna cut through your mangonels and the archer units defending it? Perhaps a little unit called a Gulam. And so the Viper has to, I mean, fantastic vision out of the Viper. Sees the, oh, what a missed opportunity for him. What a missed opportunity for the Viper. What? Pardon me? How do you say excuse me in Norwegian? Huh? Okay. The Viper saw something that he didn't like. Let's see exactly when he discovers. Oh, I'm an idiot. There's an outpost here. So he knew that the castle is going up. But 2 missed opportunities here for the Viper. The first is going after this one individual villager with 2 mangonels. Or is that? Or no, never mind. I think he attacked the castle. He didn't even go after the villager, I don't think. So missing an opportunity here to strike at these constructing villagers. And then another missed opportunity to get a decent attack round here. We've seen actually 1 decent attack round. The second one doesn't really do much. And now all of a sudden Hera is still constructing the castle, and these mangonels are defenseless, and Hera pounces with a bunch of half-dead villagers. Now, could the Viper probably kill these units? These villagers, of course. He'll sacrifice his own mangonels in doing so. Looks like Hera's mangonel here did manage to get one of the Vipers too. But now, I mean, this is what you've got as the Viper. You've got a single cav archer, 2 skirmishers, and he is just fallen way too far behind. He's down 9 villagers. He doesn't really know it. He sees the scores, which, to be honest, he's not down that much, less than 20% in score right now. He's also on 3 town centers, just now getting a market, though. Did he not have a market until this point? Interesting. But the fact that if this villager assault doesn't stop the mangonels, then the Ghulams definitely will. And you have geared your entire economy, your entire game strategy towards ranged units in this particular game, means that the Ghulams are absolutely going to run amok here. They're going to destroy everything. He's going to lose the mangonels, lose the center position. And with ranged units, there really isn't much that he can accomplish. He's sending out villagers. He's only got 380 stone. Maybe if he had 650, he would have stuck around. So just a fantastic middle finger castle here, whereas the Viper tried to give a middle finger to Hera with these mangonels to crush the skirmisher play. Hera does the exact same thing and says, hey, you're going to counter my unit? You're going to counter my counter unit? I'm going to counter your counter unit that counters my counter units. And that is exactly what he does. And I love the pull of villagers here to try to attack the mangonel. Did they even get... Oh, sorry. Yeah, they got those 2 villagers down here. Beyond that, not much that these mangonels have accomplished, except maybe pancaking a few skirmishers. What an interesting game. Hera, by the way, also heading up to basically halfway to Imperial. The Viper, nowhere close. Absolutely. Unless he's queued it up in one of these town centers. He has not. Yeah, he just realizes it might be one of those scenarios where the Viper message Hera and be like, hey, you going imp? And Hera's just like, enters the number 1. And the Viper's like, oh, shit. And then just GG's. In any event, we saw Skirmisher Wars, so there's going to be some haters out there who are not fond of the Skirmisher Wars. But man, oh man, Hera, with fewer skirmishers, totally destroyed the Viper's skirmisher play. To be fair, though, that engagement to the south of the Viper's base, where he just took 6, 7, 8 dead skirmishers, is just, yeah, that was painful to watch right before he got the elite upgrade. PKPM for Hera right in the middle of the game. Smack dab for the Viper. Look at that. Approaching Hera levels towards the end of the game. Cav Archer's not really doing much. Archer Scout not really doing much. Mangonels, to be fair, 6 Mangonels with 6 kills. Also not really doing much. Plus whatever kills this guy had before he became driftwood or chopped up kindling, whatever you want to call it. Economies. Honestly... What is this? 2,700 resources difference? Not the end of the world. Now, what is the end of the world is the economic upgrades, because, again, the Viper doesn't even have wheelbarrow. Hera's got more villagers, and he's on handcart. Yeah, so as time goes by, the difference in those economies would have expanded and grown exponentially. Army highs, 0 conversions, 0 buildings destroyed. So not exactly a in-your-face, I'm going to kill you game. But I love that both players... I love by the way, the mangonels to counter the skirmishers, and then Hera placing the castle perfectly here to defend the goal to the rear, to kind of, but not really, shoo away the mangonels here to the front. The Viper, for his part, with 2 outposts, saw all of it. And unfortunately, a few missed opportunities here. I wonder if he would have GG'd if he had gotten 5 or, let's say, 5+ villager kills here. Because imagine Hera continues constructing with these 6, 7, and then this villager count goes from 10 to 5. 5 villagers is not that scary to deal with. 10 villagers is something else. You can carve 10 villagers into 2 or 3 army groups, or, you know, civilian defense groups, or whatever you want to call them. But ultimately, the counter of the counter gets countered, and Hera with the big scary hilltop. By the way, king of the hill in this part of the woods. Castle takes the W, wrecks the super aggressive play here out of the Viper, going double siege workshop, and takes the W. But what a really fun game. GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.